Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I'm going to be your show host for today. We have a very exciting show ahead for you. We are going to be covering the WNBA preseason power rankings, Gabby Douglas's return to the Olympics, Katie Ledecky being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Emma Coburn's injury, and make sure you stay till the end to hear my predictions for the WNBA. Before we start, I would like to ask that you like and follow the show, and you can become a part of our show by tipping and donating. Your support means so much to us. Also, we do get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your questions get read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link at gsmcpodcast.net with your questions. This puts your questions at the top of the list so that I see it, and it also really helps the show. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Okay, now let's get started. I hope you enjoy today's content. Okay, let's dive right into the WNBA preseason power rankings. Up first, should be no surprise, the Las Vegas Aces, led by head coach Becky Hammon and star player A'ja Wilson. Yeah, so this should be no surprise. They became the second team in WNBA history to win 3 championships in a row. They have 4 bona fide stars and arguably one of the best starting lineups. Some of their stars are Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, and A'ja Wilson, and I feel like Wilson is one of the best players in the WNBA. In addition to Wilson literally averaging 36 points per game for the Aces last season, she also was named 2022 WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, WNBA MVP, and All WNBA First Team. I don't have many concerns for the team for the season, but I feel like the team is lacking a bit of depth. I mean, they are an injury or 2 away from being in a really, really tough spot if you think about it. They do have some talented bench pieces like Megan Gustafson, Kirsten Bell, and Alicia Clark, but outside of that, the team is lacking a bit of depth. The team is probably going to end up rostering a couple of rookies to potentially improve that. At least that's what I think will happen. Ranked second should not be a surprise at all, the New York Liberty. I think they have more depth than the Aces, but at the same time, they don't have as good of a collection as stars as the Aces, in my opinion. I'm not saying that they don't have talent. I'm just saying that they don't have as good of a collection of stars as the Aces. I want to make that clear. They do have former MVPs too. They also have Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, and Bethany Hamilton. They have a very talented group. Without hesitation, they are the second best in the WNBA. My concerns, though, I would say, is guard defense. They have Courtney Vandersloot and Sabrina Ionescu, who are both exceptional defenders, but it is still a concern. They also have Kayla Thornton and Kennedy Burke on the end of their bench, so they have some good bench defenders, but it's a tough situation for them with the guard spot in terms of defense, but still the talent is phenomenal. Third is the Seattle Storm. Now, they are bringing in a lot of newcomers, which can be a good or a bad thing. We will have to wait and see. They also have Skylar Diggins-Smith, and her talent shines a lot on the court. But the main reason they are ranked third is because they have 4 all-stars and one of the best wing defenders. It's a really good group of talent, and they do work very well together. So Seattle Storm selected a pair of players during the 2024 WNBA draft, selecting guard Nika Mole from University of Connecticut and forward Mackenzie Holmes from Indiana. Mole has established herself as one of the top passers in UConn history, and she has left the program with the most assists of all time, most assists in a single season, and most assists in a single game. And then Holmes finished her career ranked first as the program's all-time leading scorer. Now, unfortunately, she will undergo a procedure on her knee and will miss the 2024 WNBA season, but she is expected to join the Storm for training camp in 2025. Now, fourth is the Phoenix Mercury. I think this is literally such a good team name, a random thought, but the Mercury has a strong record of postseason appearances, which showcases their ability to perform under pressure and compete at the highest level. Over the years, they have consistently been in the playoff mix, which really highlights their resilience and competitiveness. The team is led by veterans Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi, so the Mercury has a wealth of experience at their disposal. Last season, I felt like they really focused on utilizing their offensive firepower to put pressure on opposing defenses, and they also have prioritized defensive intensity to force turnovers, which has definitely been successful for them last season. So hopefully they also are going to be using this upcoming season. Now, fifth is the Connecticut Sun. The Sun has a talented roster with a mix of experienced veterans and rising stars. Players like Alyssa Thomas, Dewanna Bonner, and Brianna Jones provide valuable leadership and playoff experience, and Connecticut has been a consistent contender in the WNBA in recent years. Now, they did lose Jonquil Jones and Jasmine Thomas, which was definitely a setback for the team. Alyssa Thomas doesn't shoot much, but she is known for assists, and she can really defend like any spot on the court. I think that if they maximize the players they just brought in, they could definitely get a better ranking in the future. Now, sixth is the Atlanta Dream. The Dream went 19-21 last season. They made the playoffs for the first time in a couple of years. They brought in Jordan Canada, and she actually generated more points at a pick and roll by herself than Atlanta did as a team per game last year. So having Canada who can run pick and roll and really set up the other players is going to be very beneficial for the team. My biggest concern for them is that they didn't do as great in three-point shots, and as we know, like, three-pointers really can turn a game over, so that's something that they could work on. Seventh are the Dallas Wings. Now, they went 22-18, but the concern is really just the health of Sato Sabally. She underwent a shoulder procedure in late February and will at least miss the start of the year, but it is unknown. She could miss a couple of months, or she could even just be out for a month. We don't know for certain, but other than that, the team is basically pretty much the exact same as last year, besides bringing in JC Sheldon. Eighth is the Indiana Fever. They don't have a lot of perimeter defense or rim protection besides Aaliyah Boston, but overall they have Caitlin Clark, who has been all over the news. I worry about their defense, though, and that's why the ranking is 8th mainly. I think this team has a lot of potential, and I'm excited to continue watching Caitlin Clark. Even with the addition of Clark, the Fever will need to be more efficient last year. They were one of the 2 teams that did not score at least 60 points in every game, so that's something they're going to really need to prioritize. I also just wanted to point out this random thought, but if you search up Indiana Fever online and look at images, they're all of Caitlin Clark. It's crazy. She is so huge, but I'm very excited to watch her. Next, we have the Minnesota Lynx. They weren't very great at defense last season, and that is going to be the number 1 job for their coach, Cheryl Reeve. They also need to find some three-point shooting. None of their top 6 scorers shot over 35%. Other than that, Nafisa Collier is a superstar, and it will be interesting to see how rookie Alyssa Pilley is used, considering she is an undersized post player. 10th is the Washington Mystics. Alina Del Donne is stepping away from basketball for an undetermined amount of time, and Natasha Cloud is headed to Phoenix. But fortunately, they have some reliable veteran players, and they also have potential with rookie Aleha Edwards. They also have a budding star, Shakira Austin, so it will be an interesting season for them. 11th is the Los Angeles Sparks. The Sparks had the best draft, I will say, adding Cameron Brink and Rickea Jackson, who bring instant defense and scoring, which is badly needed. They also stole Lexi Brown, and she did have some health problems, but I still think that she is one of the best shooters in the world. I also would like to point out that I think that they have the best uniforms in the league. Random thought, but I think so. At 12th is the Chicago Sky. Even with draft picks Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky will be hard-pressed to find the basket. The Sky will have to rely on their skills at defense and rebounding to have a successful season and to keep teams from running up the score on them. They do have a lot of players that shooting is not their best skill, so that is certainly going to be a concern and why they are currently ranked 12th. So that was my recap of my top 12 power rankings of the WNBA. We're now going to switch to discuss Gabby Douglas's return to the Olympics. But before we do that, we are going to take a short break, and I will see you guys soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose again.
Okay, welcome back, guys. We just got back from discussing the WNBA preseason power rankings, and now we're going to transition to talking about Gabby Douglas's return to the Olympics. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you guys to tip and donate with the link gsmcpodcast.net. So put your questions at the top so I can see them, and also we really do appreciate the support. Also, make sure you stay tuned till the end so you can hear my interesting predictions for the WNBA. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I think it's time to start talking. Gabby Douglas. Now, everyone has heard that name before. We all watched her in the 2012 Olympics, making history as America's first Black all-around Olympic champion. And I'm so excited to share the news that Gabby Douglas will be returning to competitive gymnastics with her sights set on the 2024 Paris Olympics. Now, it is interesting seeing Gabby trying to make a comeback for the Olympics after her stellar performance in the 2012 Olympics. During the Olympic trials in San Jose, California in 2012, Gabby placed first in the all-around rankings, and through that, she secured the only guaranteed spot on the women's Olympic gymnastics team. During the actual Olympic Games, Gabby was the only one on the USA team to compete in all four events: the vault, uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise, during the finals of the team competition. She then won the gold medal in the individual all-around, and the team itself also won gold at the Olympics. And then during the 2016 women's qualification for the Olympics, where she individually qualified into the uneven bars final, Gabby barely missed advancing to the all-around final to defend her title, despite tallying the third highest score in the preliminaries, since she was outscored by teammates Simone Biles and Aly Raisman. During the 2016 Olympics, Gabby helped the USA team win the second consecutive gold medal in the team event, which was also her third Olympic gold medal. In 2022 is where arguably Gabby was really starting to make her comeback. In October of 2022, several gymnastics media outlets reported that Gabby returned to training at WOGA in Texas. I've heard some people pronounce it as WOGA, like the abbreviation, but we're going to be calling it WOGA for today. In July 2023, she confirmed on Instagram that she had resumed training with the goal of competing at the 2024 Olympics. So, actually, Gabby was supposed to make her competitive return in February at the 2024 Winter Cup, but she ended up withdrawing, unfortunately, after testing positive for COVID-19 2 days before the competition. Her withdrawal from the competition was really unfortunate because this was her chance to get back to that competitive level and really see the potential she could have for the 2024 Olympics. And this would have been her first time competing since 2016. Now, this was just one setback for Gabby. I want to make clear that there has been a lot of challenges for her on the road to Paris. Okay, so going to the present, last Saturday at the American Classic in Katy, Texas, Gabby stepped back into the spotlight, but it still wasn't the most perfect performance that she would have wanted. And while the results were mixed, her determination shone brighter than ever. So that day she landed one of the best vaults of the afternoon, but unfortunately she had to stumble on the uneven bars, which left her just shy of the points needed for all-around qualifications at the national championships. And we're going to dive into all the events. So Douglas has always been known for her exquisite uneven bar work. That's always been known as her like best event. And although she struggled on the event in Katy, the potential is hard to ignore. From the pirouettes to the height on her release moves to the form, lack of talent and potential certainly isn't a concern. She even performed a new combination on the uneven bars, a Lin to lean to Jaeger. But it is notable to mention that she unfortunately had 2 falls on the uneven bars, and one of those falls on the Jaeger, it looked really painful. She like belly flopped straight on the mat, but you know, she's a champion, so she got back up and kept competing. And then the other fall, it technically wasn't like a fall, but it counts as a fall, if that makes sense on the scoreboard. She was like mid on the smaller bar and she just stopped, like she just got off on herself. So not really sure what happened there, but I was shocked to see her fall twice because her uneven bars are usually her best event. Now, she did finish with a score of 11.85 on the uneven bars, which is not that far behind to her competitors. The highest score on the uneven bars was from Mila Liu at a score of 13.95. However, I think that with a bit of confidence and consistency, Gabby can make up several points quickly on the uneven bars. Consistency is one of the most important parts of the uneven bars with all the switching and the dismount at the end, because she did have a little bit of a stumble on her dismount. Now, moving on to the floor exercise, Gabby had 1 fall and got some points off for going out of bounds. She ended up with a score of 11.45. Her routine was absolutely amazing, and you could really see the stamina and endurance she has. And it was definitely different because it felt sort of a mix of aggressive and beautiful at the same time. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. For the dance portion of her routine, every leap she did was over split, and she has a great double wide turn. It was smart of her to do a combination of dance with the tumbling, but it was different because this routine felt more artistic than some other routines she has had in the past. She also did a switch ring and switch full, which were executed perfectly. When I saw her competing in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, she was very strong and powerful. And I guess you can say there are 2 types of gymnasts. You have your powerhouse tumbling gymnast whose strength is really prominent. And then you have your more artistic gymnast who is more graceful, has pointed toes and long legs. And just off the top of my head, the perfect example of the comparison I'm talking about would be Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin, where Shawn is more of a powerhouse and Nastia was so graceful and artistic. Now, when I saw Gabby compete in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, she was leaning more towards a powerhouse and strong gymnast like Shawn. But this floor routine she did in the competition was kind of a mix of artistic and strength-focused skills, so it was interesting to see how she sort of combined the 2 types of elements of gymnast in this routine. And then for the vault, she absolutely dominated. She got a score of 14.0, which was the highest score in vault. She did drop out of the Yurchenko double full. She kind of had to pike it down, it seemed, to not fall, but she definitely can do it. I would like to see her do the full skill, but at the same time, like, you have to think, like, is it worth it right now? And, like, she still did score the highest, so it was fine anyway. And then lastly, Gabby stood out in the balance beam with a score of 13.35. She tied 4th in the balance beam with Marissa Neal, and Marissa ranked 3rd overall, so it's good that Gabby's definitely keeping up with the top 3 at the moment. This was not particularly a great beam routine for her, like the routine choreography itself, but the important thing is that she stayed on the beam, which is literally one of the most impressive things about the balance beam. But you could kind of see her getting nervous with the pressure on the beam. She had a bit of wobbling when she was standing on the beam after one of her layouts. Like, that's normal. Like, the amount of times we see a gymnast right after performing a skill, they wobble a bit on the beam. But the reason I'm pointing it out is because she's Gabby Douglas. Like, she's known for this stellar balance and precision she has. But then again, it was just a little wobble. But I think it was just the nerves and pressure that probably got to her at that moment. Other than that, she scored very well and had an amazing routine overall. So Gabby finished 11th all around with a score of 50.65 points. And you need a 51 to qualify for the all around for the Xfinity US Championships. In fact, the difference was less than 0.4 of a point, which is not too shabby considering Douglas counted 3 falls, each of which of these falls cost her a full point. and among other errors such as going out of bounds on the floor exercise. So overall, Gabby did qualify for the U.S. Championships for 3 events: the vault, uneven bars, and the balance beam. She will have one more opportunity to qualify on all 4 at the Classic. In the event that Gabby does not meet the all-around score requirement, she will still be eligible to petition to compete in the all-around since she participated at the November 2023 National Team Camp. So the U.S. Championships will be held May 30th to June 2nd, and really the U.S. Championships are a necessary step for any athlete who wants to be in the conversation for a spot in the U.S. Olympic team. The results from the championship will determine who advances to the U.S. Olympic team trials held June 27th to the 30th. The other competitors that ended up qualifying for the all-around for the championships are Jade Carey, Maya Liu, Marissa Neal, Ashley Sullivan, Zoe Malomo, Tatum Drush, Malia Milton, Nicole Desmond, Brooke Pearson, and Chloe Cho. And those are the competitors that ranked to the top 10. And Gabby being ranked 11th, she's literally just right there to compete for the all-around. Gabby definitely has a lot of pressure on her. She's known as a gymnast at heart, and she has 3 Olympic gold medals. Everyone is expecting to see her be just as strong as she always is, or even stronger. So, yeah, there you go. Basically everything you need to know about Gabby Douglas returning to the Olympics. Also, another side note, I bet she is probably very frustrated right now that she was literally 0.4 of a point off from qualifying for the all-around. But we will see how she does, and hopefully she will be able to get the all-around. So we are now going to switch to discuss Katie Ledecky being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But before we do that, we are going to take a short break. So I will see you guys soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody. We just got done talking about Gabby Douglas's return to the Olympics, and now we're going to move on to discussing Katie Ledecky being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Okay, so I think that we are ready to get started talking about it. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, so Katie Ledecky, a household name in the swimming world, is among the 19 individuals chosen for this honor. And she's 27 years old. She has already left an indelible mark on the sport with a stunning array of achievements to her name. She was born and raised in Maryland, and her journey to swimming stardom began at a very young age. She honed her skills in the pool and went on to achieve remarkable success at the international stage, representing the U.S. with pride and distinction. So the Presidential Medal of Freedom is the highest civilian honor bestowed by the President of the U.S. It was established by President Harry S. Truman in 1945 to recognize individuals who have made exceptional contributions to the security, prosperity, and national interest of the U.S., as well to world peace and cultural endeavors. The medal is awarded to individuals from various fields, including, but not limited to, politics, science, arts, literature, entertainment, sports, and philanthropy. Recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom are selected by the President or their administration and are typically honored in a special ceremony at the White House. So the medal itself is a prestigious decoration consisting of a gold-colored medal suspended from a blue ribbon featuring white stars, as you can see in the picture. The front of the medal bears the profile of an eagle, while the reverse side features the inscription for meritorious civilian service, along with the recipient's name and date of the award. Over the years, the Presidential Medal of Freedom has been awarded to a diverse array of individuals, including prominent figures such as civil rights leaders, scientists, artists, athletes, and humanitarians. It serves as a symbol of the highest honor and recognition bestowed upon civilians by the President of the U.S. Ledecky's Olympic resume speaks for itself. 7 gold medals, including an impressive 6 individual golds, making her the most decorated female swimmer in U.S. history. And with the 2024 Paris Olympics just around the corner, she's poised to add even more hardware to her collection. But Ledecky's dominance extends beyond the Olympic Games. She's a force to be reckoned with at the World Championships, boasting an astonishing 21 medals and holding 2 world records in the 800 and 1500 meter freestyle events. Now, she had a stellar collegiate career at Stanford University, where she continued to shatter records, and Ledecky now trains at the University of Florida, preparing tirelessly for her upcoming competitions and inspiring the next generation of swimmers along the way. So joining Ledecky as a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom is Jim Thorpe. A trailblazer in his own right, Thorpe made history as the first Native American to win an Olympic gold for the U.S. at the 1912 Stockholm Games. So when seeing this, I was wondering, why is Katie Ledecky getting this award? So her unparalleled success in the pool has not only brought glory to herself, but has also served as an inspiration to millions of aspiring athletes around the world. Firstly, Ledecky's unparalleled success at the Olympic Games sets her way apart as one of the greatest athletes of her generation, with a total of 7 Olympic gold medals, including an unprecedented 6 individual golds. She really has cemented her legacy as one of the most dominant swimmers in history. Also, Ledecky's remarkable performance extends beyond the Olympic stage. She currently holds the world records in 800 and 1500 meter freestyle events, which really showcases her exceptional talent and endurance in long distance swimming. In addition to this, throughout her career, Ledecky has amassed an astonishing 21 medals at World Championships, which further solidified her status as a true legend of the sport. So overall, her consistent excellence and ability to perform under pressure have earned her widespread admiration and respect. But beyond her athletic achievement, Ledecky serves as a role model and ambassador for the sport of swimming. Her dedication, humility, and sportsmanship, both in and out of the pool, have earned her the admiration of fans worldwide, inspiring this new generation of swimmers to pursue their dreams. Ledecky's influence on swimmers and really anyone extends far beyond the world of sports. She's a symbol of perseverance, determination, and excellence, and she embodies the values that the Presidential Medal of Honor seeks to honor. Now, her positive impact on society transcends athletics, making her a worthy recipient of this prestigious award, I would say. With athletes like Katie Ledecky and Jim Thorpe among its recipients, the Presidential Medal of Freedom continues to celebrate the remarkable achievements and contributions of individuals who have left an indelible mark on the world stage. In an interview after receiving this award, Ledecky talked about the upcoming Olympics. So she is hoping to compete in the 500 free, which is her favorite event, and she also sees herself competing in the 2028 Olympics as well, which is what she also said. That's very exciting. Now, the awarding of the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Katie Ledecky holds the potential to significantly impact the way women's sports are viewed and valued. By honoring Katie Ledecky with one of the nation's highest civilian honors, the U.S. government is acknowledging and celebrating the remarkable achievements of female athletes. This recognition underscores the importance of women's sports and elevates the status of female athletes on a national and really global scale too. Ledecky's receipt of the award serves as a powerful symbol of inspiration for aspiring female athletes everywhere. Her journey from a young swimmer with a dream to an Olympic champion and now the recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom sends a message that women can achieve greatness in the world of sports and beyond. And of course, the recognition of Ledecky with the Presidential Medal of Freedom could lead to greater media coverage and sponsorship opportunities for women's sports. As a widely respected and admired athlete, Ledecky's achievements can help draw attention to women's sports and attract investment from media outlets, sponsors, and advertisers. So overall, the awarding of the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Katie Ledecky reinforces the importance of gender equality in sports and society. By recognizing the achievements of female athletes among their male counterparts, this is a powerful message about the value of gender diversity and inclusion in all areas of life. I find that this recognition can help drive positive change and progress towards a more equitable and supportive environment for women in sports and beyond. So now we're going to switch to discuss Emma Coburn's injury, but before we do that, we're going to take another short break. So I will see you guys real soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming back. We just got done talking about Katie Ledecky being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and now we're going to dive into Emma Coburn's injury. This injury makes me really sad for Coburn because I think she just had a hamstring injury, and this is really limiting her Olympic career right now, which we will dive into. Okay. I'm so sorry, give me a second. Okay, so 3-time U.S. Olympian Emma Coburn's dreams of competing in the Paris Olympics have literally been shattered after this devastating injury. Emma Coburn is a decorated athlete who won a bronze medal in the 3,000-meter steeplechase at the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Games, suffered a heartbreaking setback at the recent Diamond League meet in Shanghai. During the 3,000-meter steeplechase event, Coburn broke her ankle on a water jump, abruptly ending her hopes of qualifying for the Paris Olympics, unfortunately. Coburn initially believed she had only sprained her ankle, but subsequent scans revealed far more severe damage, including torn ligaments, damaged cartilage, and a fracture in her medial malleolus. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really bad at anatomy and all of that, so I don't understand any of this, I'll be honest. But basically the injury's bad. I can say that. The extent of the injury necessitated surgery, so during which a screw was implanted to address the fracture. Coburn had surgery on May 1st and got a screw in her ankle for the fracture, and if the recovery process goes well, she should be able to start jogging again in 6 weeks. And fans online were, of course, very sad to hear this news. A fan wrote, "My heart sank while reading this," on Twitter, and a lot of people are wishing for her to feel better on her Instagram post addressing her injury. Despite the setback, Coburn remains resilient and determined to return to competition. She shared video snippets of herself exercising post-surgery, displaying her unwavering resolve and commitment to recovery. She's still supporting her other teammates, which is very powerful of her. She actually posted on Twitter, "Very happy for my teammate Gabby Jennings for her new PR, 9 minutes, 19 seconds, and 5th place." Coburn's absence from the U.S. track trials for the Paris Olympics will undoubtedly be felt, as she is not only a seasoned Olympian, but also a former world champion in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Her passion for the sport and dedication to excellence serve as an inspiration to athletes around the world. As Coburn embarks on her journey towards recovery, I wish her strength, perseverance, and a speedy return to the track. Though her Olympic aspirations may have been derailed for now, there's no doubt that we'll be seeing her back out there eventually, giving her all and chasing her dreams once again. Unfortunately, like I said, this wasn't Coburn's first injury. Last year, she finished second in the U.S. Championships behind Christy Gear, despite battling a hamstring injury in her build-up. Now, Coburn went on to finish 10th in the heats of the World Championship in Budapest, which marked the first time in her career that she did not make a global championship final. Coburn's hamstring injury persisted, and she spent much of her past 8 months cross-training. So, now that Coburn will not be able to compete for the U.S. women's steeplechase, there are going to be some changes. Coburn has been a fixture on U.S. teams for more than a decade, and it's crushing to see a global medal contender miss the Olympics. She's a big part of why the U.S. women have taken a major step forward in recent years to continue competing against the top East African athletes. So it's interesting to see who can fill her spot on the Olympic team. The sort of time required to make the Olympic team has only gotten faster in recent years. In 2021, it was 19 minutes and 18 seconds. In 2022, it was 9 minutes and 16 seconds. And in 2023, it was 9 minutes and 14 seconds. I know it seems like it's just a couple of seconds of a difference, but trust me, like, those seconds make a huge difference. With Coburn not being able to compete, more women could actually enter the mix. Other contenders are Chrissy Gear, of course, Courtney Vandersloot, and Courtney Vandersloot. Chrissy Gear is the reigning U.S. champion and has yet to steeple this year. She's been in training in Flagstaff, and she's on the entries of the Prefontaine Classic on May 25th. She should take confidence from a very successful return to the steeplechase last year, in which fans saw her progress from 9 minutes and 23 seconds in her season opener to 9 minutes and 12 seconds when she kicked to win at USA's. If she's refined that speed even more, she'll be really good competition. And then Courtney Vandersloot, the only American woman who has run in the last 2 World Championship finals, she impressed the past indoor season with a 14 minutes and 49 seconds personal best for the 5,000 meter, earning her the Olympic standard in that event. And this past weekend, she steepled for the first time since last September and actually finished second, so she has a lot of potential. And then Courtney Vandersloot is a silver medalist in Tokyo, and she struggled with injuries last year and had the unfortunate luck of falling in her steeplechase prelim, but she did still advance. However, due to this bone bruise in her fibula, she scratched in the final and missed her first global championship since 2015. We only have her solid 15 minute and 1 second from February 9th at Boston University to show for her 2024 results, but she will be at the Prefontaine Classic though. And then of course there are some possible or potential breakout stars. Olivia Markusic just opened up her outdoor season with 9 minutes and 36 seconds steeple to find second at a meet in Winston-Salem. She's currently preparing for the NCAA championship season at the University of Notre Dame. And then Gabby Jennings has progressed well over the past 2 years. She's lowered her personal best from 9 minutes and 25 seconds to 9 minutes and 19 seconds with a fifth place finish this past weekend in Shanghai. And then third, Val Constian is already a U.S. Olympian. She is coming back from a torn ACL in her Diamond League debut a year ago. She's slated to race at the Prefontaine Classic as well. I am noticing how much I am bringing up injuries, but it is so common to get an injury in this sport. It is so crazy, and it's always a terrible injury. It's a lot of recovery. And so hopefully everything goes well with Coburn's recovery process so she can get back on the track. It is very unfortunate that she will not be seeing such a prominent athlete in the Olympics this year. So it is very unfortunate, but hopefully we see her back on the track soon. So now it is time to move on to our last segment, and that is going to be my predictions for the WNBA. So thank you so much for staying around to listen to the final segment, by the way. Really appreciate it, guys. Okay, so we're just going to dive right into my predictions for the WNBA. Okay, so my first prediction, which should not be much of a shocker, is that Caitlin Clark will be on the Olympic team. So Clark is a highly regarded basketball player, known for her scoring ability and playmaking skills, and has received numerous honors for her performances. While Clark doesn't possess the experience or, like, I guess professional experience basically as the other potential participants, her marketability means Team USA could use her to promote its brand and further expand women's basketball. I feel like it'd be kind of foolish for them not to have her in some way. Additionally, it's common practice for Olympic squads to include one younger player to learn the ropes for future competitions. In theory, Clark turning up at the 2024 Olympics would make her a better leader at the 2028 Olympics. So would it be kind of foolish for her not to be picked on the Olympic team? I will say. Another one of my predictions is that Caitlin Clark is going to win Rookie of the Year. I feel like that is not a shocker, but here's the difference in this prediction. Say she weren't going to win it for whatever reason. My other prediction is that it is going to be Rickea Jackson. A 6'2" forward, Jackson finished her 5-year collegiate career on a high note this season. She's led the SEC in points per game with 20.2. She also averaged 8.2 rebounds and 2.3 assists. She shot 48.5 from the field, 33.8 from three-point range, and 78% from the free throw line. She spent her first 3 seasons of college at Mississippi State and was the leading scorer for the Bulldogs in each season. She averaged 16.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.4 steals over 31.6 minutes per game in her 3 seasons. She played her 4th and 5th years at Tennessee and averaged 19.2 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.4 assists in her first season. She's definitely going to make a huge impact as a rookie, and I think that she really has this huge chance of earning the Rookie of the Year award. Another prediction I have is that the WNBA will experience a surge in fan engagement and support, which will be fueled by the growing popularity of women's basketball and increased visibility of the league's players and teams. And this basically comes from the marketing effects Caitlin Clark has had. So there's this thing called the Caitlin Clark effect, which is like her marketability basically. She really has transcended college basketball, and now she is in the WNBA. So I feel like there's going to be that same effect there as well. Tickets prices have actually been soaring recently, and fans have been willing to pay a lot more to see Clark play, and I think that's going to take effect during the WNBA season. Caitlin Clark is already a social media sensation. We all know that. We all have seen her engaging posts and interactions with a fan. So when she transitions to the WNBA, I feel like Clark can really leverage her large following to promote the league, share behind-the-scenes glimpses of her journey, and connect with fans on a personal level. By regularly sharing updates, highlights, and insights into her life as a professional athlete, I feel like Clark can attract new fans to the WNBA and deepen the connection with existing ones. The WNBA can implement fan engagement initiatives as well centered around Caitlin Clark, and I feel like they will probably end up doing more of that, like fan polls, contests, and exclusive fan experiences, something along those lines. But basically by giving fans the opportunity to interact with Clark and win unique prizes and things like that, the league can foster this sense of community and belonging among its fan base, especially with its marketability. Additionally, like, Clark can actively participate in these initiatives by engaging with fans online like she already has, like attending fan events and showing appreciation for their support. Okay, my last prediction is that the epic final showdown will feature 2 powerhouse teams, the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. Once again, I know this is a pretty basic prediction. I know. But these 2 teams are widely regarded as the top contenders in the league. Like, the Las Vegas Aces, like I went over this in the beginning, like led by coach Becky Hammon, who has a great reputation. They've been dominant in recent years, capturing back-to-back championships and establish themselves as the team to beat in the WNBA. Also, they have star players Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray leading this charge, and the Aces possess a combination of scoring, defensive strength, and championship experience, so I really see them up there in the finals. And then on the other side, the New York Liberty, which is under the guidance of head coach Walt Hawkins, they've emerged as a formidable force in the league, fueled by the dynamic duo of Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, with a balanced roster featuring a mix of seasoned veterans and rising stars. The Liberty poses a serious threat to any team they face, capable of lighting up the scoreboard and stifling opponents on defense. I know I went over that I don't find that the Aces have as much depth, but still, if they work on that, I think that, or even just pay more attention to it in general, I really feel like they have this huge chance of being in the finals. And then I did say that New York Liberty doesn't have as much of a collection of talent or stars as the Aces, but they're still right there and they still have so much talent. I want to make that very clear that I think that they're all very talented still. So those are my predictions, kind of basic predictions, I'll be honest, but you know what, let's see if they come true. So thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful day.
Go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to